Hey everyone, we are about to go into Bent Stick Brewing, so let's go. Hey everyone, welcome back. Here we are today at Bent Stick Brewing with one of the owners, Cole Boyd. How are you doing today?
Good, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. We can start with you just telling us a bit about yourself.
I'm Cole Boyd. I've been one of the owners here at Bent Stick Brewing for the last 8 years. Started in the brewing industry a little before that as a sales rep for another brewery, and then Ben Ricks is another one of the founders of the brewery here. Him and I went to college together, and they had started Bent Stick a couple years before and gotten to a point where they needed help on the sales side, and I was looking to get involved as an owner and joined on as a team, and it's been plugging away ever since.
What got you into the brewing industry?
Kind of just happenstance. My wife is a family medical doctor, and when she was in med school, they do a weird thing. It's just match day, and so one day they just tell you where you're going to do your residency. They apply to different ones, but we matched to a spot that didn't have somewhere I could transfer my old career. I used to run grain elevators, and when we matched to Medicine Hat, we couldn't transfer within that same company anymore, and so I needed to find a new job. And so I started selling beer because I could follow her wherever she went for that. So, yeah.
That's so sweet. What was that transfer period like? Were you able to, I guess, transfer any skills, or was it kind of like starting totally fresh?
It was starting pretty fresh. I was pretty an avid craft beer consumer when I switched over. I remember a lot of the elevator I used to work at was right by Sherbrooke Liquor here in Edmonton, which is sort of where craft beer nerds start. Oodles and oodles of beer, and I remember it being a payday and just going and picking up different beers for the next little while and trying them out. And, making that a point every time I came to Edmonton when I was working outside of the city, and so was very invested in craft beer that way. And so then when it became a chance to be involved in the industry, I was just very excited. Learned along the way.
Cool. What is it about craft beer that you enjoy so much?
Initially it was primarily just the different flavors and what was available there, but now it's very much just the community. Seeing what our tap room has become as like a community space and people gathering in and getting to visit and build that community in a spot that we've built and have those relationships over top of our beers. That's the coolest thing by a landslide.
And so Bent Stick is obviously all about craft beer, but also that community aspect. Can you talk a bit about Bent Stick and what it's all about?
Our whole, we laugh. We started and we thought we were going to be a punk rock brewery, and then it turns out we were more of like a Jimmy Buffett brewery or Cheers. Like, it's just stopped being less about black and white and hard punk rock and more just about the visits we have with friends, and just we came in with one idea, and the community that grew around us showed us another thing, and we thought that maybe we need to lean into that a little bit more. And then we started as just like a little tiny brewery on the north end of Edmonton. We were just off Fort Road. We were like 1,800 square feet in a concrete box. We had a tap room that could fit 6 people.
Wow.
And then when we built this brewery out 5 years ago now, just about, 4 or 5 years ago, we didn't decorate the walls very much when we moved in, but we just left it kind of as an open space. And then as people started coming here, they started asking if they could leave art that we could put on the walls. And so it's like a lot of the art on the walls comes from patrons that come here, and some of the plants came from people's houses, and they like to come every week and water their plant. And just little things like that. And we became the dog brewery because right after we opened, people were like, can we bring our dog in? And there was no reason health code wise why they couldn't. It was like, sure, bring your dog. And we've just become the dog brewery now. And there's always so many dogs in here now, and people that bond over that, and just came in and left this space very open, and the people that came here made it what it is. And we just kind of put up a little bit of guidelines around that and let people make it what they wanted it to be.
So the name Bent Stick, where did that come from?
So when the brewery was started, the 4 people that initially started it all used to work at Alley Cat, and they worked at Alley Cat before they had called rakes in the mash tun. So to make beer, you make a big vat of barley porridge, and then you stir it up, and you want to get the sugars out of the grains. And like our brew house now, and modern brew houses have like an automated brake system that stirs it all up, so you don't have to stir it by hand. Alley Cat didn't have that, and so you had to like stir with a big metal paddle.
Oh my goodness.
And over time, like they got like a bend in the big metal paddle, and so it was like an homage to the hard work in brewing. And we just never thought of a better name by the time we needed to submit like registry paperwork, and so there we were. It was done.
How do you come up with new flavors, names, all that jazz?
Yeah, it's a whole combination. Sometimes we come up with a beer name first and then make a beer backwards. Like we have Juice Box Hero, which is a Concord Grape Kolsch. And so Patrick and I were working a beer festival in Jasper, and we had 10 hours in the car together and just got visiting back and forth and came up with the idea of Juice Box Hero as a beer. And like, well, what's the most juice boxy like juice that you could have? Oh, like Welch's grape juice. And so then we found sourced Concord grapes. The first time we brewed that beer, we just like emptied every bottle of Welch's grape juice from the city of Edmonton and like poured it into our vat and brewed it, like mixed it with the beer. And now we have a more commercial supplier because we brew it all the time. But so things like that the name comes first. Right now in Edmonton, it's the Weird Beer Adventure, and so there's like 19 breweries that all brewed a different weird beer, and we made one called 24 Carotene, which uses like 250 pounds of carrots and a bunch of ginger and turmeric. And that, like, we knew we wanted to do a weird beer, and so we're like, well, what if we made a carrot soup beer? And so took a lot of the flavors you would use in a carrot soup and reverse engineered it to what that would be like in a beer, and it turned out really nice.
What has been, I guess, the best moment for you thus far in your brewing experience?
I mean, coming in on a weekend and seeing this place packed, it's the coolest. Yeah, just the fact that there's 20 some breweries in the city and people continue to choose this one as a place to gather. It's why we're doing it.
And speaking of that, with the numerous, I guess, breweries that we have available in Edmonton, what do you think of, I guess, the craft beer scene here in Edmonton, and why do you think it's important to get craft beer?
Oh yeah, we have a great craft beer scene in Edmonton. We don't have as many breweries like per capita as a city like Calgary does, but they're all really good. Like I don't think we have a bad brewery in the city. Not to say there's bad breweries other places, but the quality level is really high, and there's a level of like collegiality to everyone. Like we all get along pretty well, and if you have a question, you can. So someone brewed a beer one way, you can like, how did you guys do this? And you can get info back and forth, and so that's really kind of raised everyone's level. And just why to support craft beer? Like, we try to provide those gathering spaces for people, and it's beautifully inefficient, and in the sense that it takes way more people and dollars and labor to make that beer, but a lot of that stays in the community. We hire local people, we buy local grains, we do as best as we can to support all the different charities and things like that, and people supporting craft beer lets us spread that around, and so it helps a bunch.
And then for someone who doesn't know a ton about beer, if you had to give like a super quick, this is what that one means,
Yeah.
and like not obviously to the science, because I know you know that, but it'll probably go right over my head, but just like a little glimpse into the different types, I guess.
So most beer that people are aware of are lagers. So that pale yellow, it's very crisp, effervescent. Those tend to be lager beers. Real basic science, there's two main categories of beer. There's lagers and ales. Lagers take longer to make because they use a yeast that ferments cold. Yeast, like humans, you don't want to work very fast when you're cold, and so it's very slow acting. It takes about 6 weeks to make a lager. Ales can be done in about 10 days to 3 weeks. Ferment warmer, the yeast works faster, but in working faster, it tends to put off other sorts of flavors as well, which are like sometimes desirable, like fruity flavors or things like that. But in a lager, you want it nice and clean and crisp without those off flavors. You really want to highlight the flavors of your malts and your hops. The yeast should be very secondary for what the flavor provides. And then, IPAs tend to be quite flavorful. They used to be, we joked that there was like the mid-aught hop wars, and people were like, let's make the most bitter IPA possible and tell people it's awesome. And we tricked a lot of people that it was. And then we figured out that hops can be delicious without being bitter, and that's where these hazy IPAs came from. And so use them at different points in the process so they provide more fruit notes instead of just bitterness. And then you get into different the malts provide different colors depending on how they're roasted and kilned and things like that. And so you get your darker beers and your ambers and stouts and things like that. Those all tend to be ales, and yeah.
Cool. I did not know that it was like simply in two categories, lagers and ales. Like I thought every single thing was like so different. So that makes sense.
You can get into the weeds as far as you want, but as far as the two major categories of beers, lagers and ales.
Very cool. And then a question for you, just because I'm curious.
Yeah.
Sours, are those like still a beer? Or is that something
still
different?
beer, and they could be lager or ale, depends how you want to make them. Like across the street is Blind Enthusiasm, and I suppose theirs would technically be an ale of sorts, but they have a special facility where like the yeast is pulled from the air. So like they brew the beer and it goes up in this like big vat, open air, and then they run the air through these louvers over top and inoculate it, and then it ferments in 3 years in barrels, and then they package it.
Oh my god.
And all their beers are naturally sour.
Oh wow.
It's a very unique product, and like super cool that that's built in Edmonton here. We tend to do more like quick turn kettle sours. And so still the brewing process is the same. We just add ingredients that bring the pH down, so it makes it slightly more sour.
Oh, so it's literally just like more sour, which is why it's called sour?
Yeah, that's a lower pH, and so yeah, it's a sour beer.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought it was the fruity ones, but then you mentioned IPAs being fruitier, and then I was like, oh wait, maybe I'm confused. But
Yeah, all sorts of different ways to
that makes sense. Cool. Do you think that there would ever be a time when people could create a new, like, actual, like, beer itself?
I think, I mean, the most popular craft beer style now is that hazy IPA, and they've only been around for like 15 years. And so in the scheme of things, like, that's pretty new, considering beer's been around for hundreds of years. So yeah, I'm sure there's still space to figure out where it is. It's just figuring out what that technique is to get to where people are aiming for. But yeah, it's tricky to find a new frontier. It's been around for a long time.
What advice would you have for aspiring brewers?
Make sure you focus on the product and focus on your people. So make sure you're making good beer that you are proud of and you stand behind, and make your space inviting for people to come in and enjoy that, and the rest should take care of itself.
And then if you think of it more in like a businessy aspect, is there like business advice that you would have for aspiring business owners? More general sense, I guess.
Just business owners in general. Yeah, it's tricky. We're learning so much about business as we go along. I mean, I just can't say enough about the value that we've put on the people that we work with, both in the building and the staff that we have, and supporting them because we know how much they support us, and then building quality relationships with our suppliers and customers. Like, it's so much of small business is built on the people around you, and just value those things as much as you can.
And for folks who might not be super knowledgeable about Bent Stick, what is something you would want them to know about the brewery?
We're going to turn 10 this year, which is pretty cool. We're excited about that. And yeah, we just started really, really small. Like I said, we were brewing 350 liters in an 1,800 square foot concrete box, and just focusing on making the beers we wanted to make, and kind of gave it its own space to grow and let it do a very organic thing to get to where it is today. And yeah, it's pretty cool.
What was that adjustment like, I guess, from going from such a smaller scale to now having things a bit bigger?
So when we were in that really small space, we did something called contract brewing, and so we hired other breweries to brew larger quantities of beer for us.
Oh, okay.
And so by the time we had the space open, we had the demand for that beer already, and we were just switching to brewing it all ourselves again.
Gotcha.
And so like that wasn't as big of a switch. The biggest thing was, like, I remember when we first opened, we had like one staff member to help with the front of house stuff, and then it was just like the four of us owners, and just realizing like, oh, we need help. Like, we need more people. We can't do everything right now. And like the front of house being as busy as it was like people blew us away with how fast they adopted us as a space. And so yeah, just how quickly we needed to bring people on board. go on that side of things. That was the biggest adjustment. And then now we've got a great team up front, and we don't have to work too many taproom shifts these days, which allows us to focus on the other stuff. And now things hitting a nice groove.
Yay! What a good problem to have, though, of like, oh my gosh, we're so busy, we need more people to work with us. It's great.
We're pretty fortunate.
Yeah. And for people who want to try your beer or buy your beer, where can they go?
Yeah, so we're available throughout Alberta. There's a little bit that trickles into Saskatchewan, but mostly Alberta. Any of your local independent liquor stores, we try to focus on, and then we're fortunate to have the support of the bigger shops like the Sobeys and the Wine and Beyonds and folks like that. So there's pretty good coverage across the province, but if you can't find us, we're available. There's a thing called Liquor Connect, and any liquor store, restaurant, or bar can bring it in. So word of mouth's the best, and we'd appreciate if you told people you want to drink some Bent Stick.
Spread the word. If you could take Bent Stick anywhere in the world, where would you want to take it?
Like the company?
I mean, yeah. And then also, I'm just thinking of, selling the beer. So, if the company went somewhere, or if the beers went somewhere.
I'm probably just going on a tropical island somewhere. Yeah, just a very small Bent Stick brewery on an island so that I can drink it in a hammock and just be on my own.
There you go. That's the way to go.
Yeah, winter's fun, but hammock beers are tough to beat.
Oh, hammock beers would win all the way. Every day lately that I've gone outside, I'm scraping my window being like, I hate it here.
Yeah. But it's got little victories. There's nice parts of it too.
Absolutely. It's so beautiful. And we're very lucky because we get the sun most of the time. I lived in Vancouver for a while, and they don't get the sun in winter. So I'm grateful for the sun. That's for sure. And then if you could take those beers, so sending them anywhere in the world to be drinking and purchased, drunk? I don't know what the word is. Drank? Yeah, I think it's drank.
Yeah.
Sorry. Drank by other people. Where are you shipping them off to?
The thing is with craft beer, it's an industry that's popping up all around the world, and so much about craft beer is that it's made where you're drinking it, and so we'd be happy for anyone to be able to have access to it, but the big thing is drinking it near home. And so just people in Alberta and we like to focus on our stuff here. And so if Albertans wanted to dip into some Bent Stick beer and take it to the top of a mountain or take it fishing with them or do whatever, that's where we want to be.
That's the win. Yeah. So that's awesome. And then last question, it doesn't have to be specific to the beers or to the business or anything. We just like to ask, what would you say is the best piece of advice you've received throughout your life?
Yeah, I mean, I've said it lots, but just doing it, build it for the people. Just build it, there's got to be a bit of a selflessness in what you create, and making sure that you leave space to. It's still something that you've created, but you've got to be willing to give some of it to the people that enjoy it, and it makes it just much more wholesome and sustainable.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sitting down and chatting with us.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming by. Thanks a lot.
We're in a new location.
Surprise! Very ambient fireplace. Mm-hmm. You know what goes well with sitting around a fireplace? Some
cold
beers. So we went to Bent Stick Brewery, and we got them to recommend us some super awesome beers. We are not trying the Juice Box Hero because they were all sold out, but I am very excited to try these super fun options. Yeah. But we're going to make it a little more adventurous, I guess, and do a sort of blind taste test. So one at a time, we'll wear the blindfolds, we'll try them, and we'll have to try and match the beer with the flavor that we tried. Mm-hmm. Did that make sense?
Yes. Totally.
So that's what we're going to do. We'll talk about the beers.
Winter at Edmonton can be one cold, dark, I don't think I can say this word. When the days are at their shortest, you may find yourself seeking refuge at a warm pub a bit earlier in the evening. 4:30 p.m. stout is designed exactly for those cold Alberta winter afternoons. Subtle notes of dark fruit, chocolate, coffee, and a pinch of smoke are completed by a low alcohol content, which makes this the perfect beer for an extended shift on a bar stool. It's dark out, but it's still early.
Oh,
cute!
That was the stout?
Yes.
So this is the Love Potion 109. prickly pear and grapefruit ale. So the story behind this is when folks from Dolly's invited us to team up with them on a summer slurper for patio season, we jumped at the opportunity and try to work some magic together. As a tip of the hat to their signature cocktail, the Dolly's Dream House, Love Potion 109 has a healthy dose of prickly pear along with a bit of grapefruit to bring out a refreshing brightness to your warm Edmonton afternoon. This potion may not leave you kissing everything in sight, but we hope it'll make you love your time on the Dolly's patio just a little more.
Oh my gosh, Dolly's Dream House, that's so cute.
That is so cute.
And then we have the Big Shiny IPA, a compilation of hop hits. Ha ha!
That's
You
so
can't see,
cute.
but there's like...
A wizard?
Yeah, I thought it was a microphone. It's not a microphone.
And we're filming this on a Throwback Thursday, which is...
Boom bam!
Yeah.
You might not watch it on a Thursday, but if you are, listen to a throwback, shall ya? Okay, the IPA. Everyone loves a good compilation. This tasty Midwestern style IPA is a delicious combo of different hops left over from other beers we have made. We love a mosh posh moment. Big Shiny IPA isn't just tossed together from dusty old scraps, though. We always use the tastiest hop hits in our recipes, so this one is no exception. Helping us clean out the hop cooler might sound like a chore, but Volume 3 contains a rockin' blend of Vic's Secret, Galaxy, and Crush that will surely bring fun to your face hole.
Lovely.
Love.
That's actually kind of cool. I didn't know it was
A mosh posh.
a mosh posh of leftover stuff.
That is really fun.
Do you want to read the last one?
Last one, the Haymaker. So this one is, we started our brewery to make the beers we wanted to drink, and Haymaker is the prime example. Wheated Pilsner, yep. That is the word that I need to say. Is a style of beer we totally just made up, but thought it would be delicious. Haymaker is perfectly balanced Pilsner brewed with the choicest, most premium, largest malts. So those aren't words, so that's not up to me, you know?
You're feeling it. I know all the words coming out of your mouth.
We can get and conditioned by plenty of lagering time. We added Alberta wheat and a more modern hop variety to put a Bent Stick twist on the European classic.
Ooh, okay.
Interesting.
Interesting. So this is like their signature first one. The
That's so
classic,
cute.
the original.
That's so fun.
We're starting with the first, and I don't know which one of these is the newest, but like I'm gonna say that it's this one because it has everything.
Yeah.
A little bit of everything in there. So without further
That's very
ado,
smart.
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna get started.
Yeah.
All right, here goes nothing. I'm excited.
We're gonna go with
Whatever you want to do.
this one first.
Lovely. It might be fuller than you think it is.
And I'd be careful, don't squish it. It's like a Danimal squish cup. It's
yes,
gonna go
it
everywhere.
is. Then you can try this one.
Okay.
She already has an idea. We're not going to say anything.
I am
now.
reaching. Yeah.
This is the first one, the chocolatey one, I think. I'm just saying. I feel like there was hints of that. But
Okay.
And then one last one. We're going to...
yeah, there's like an aftertaste of smoke with that.
Oh, an aftertaste of smoke.
Okay. This one also could be the grapefruit. We'll see.
Okay.
Mishy mash, mosh,
Okay.
posh.
You ready?
Take my blindfold off now.
Okay, yeah.
How did I do?
You did really good. You just mixed up these two, which makes sense because it has.
Okay.
This one has that one in it.
Yeah.
Technically.
Ah, good job.
Okay. You ready to go?
I was born ready. Yeah, I have no idea what that is.
Perfect. It's a beer. Perfect. Okay.
Fun fact, guys, I don't drink beer a ton.
Like, I love a cold brewski on, like, a summer night, but...
They all...
Nothing's speaking to you.
Maybe that was grapefruit? A hint of
You know what?
something
That's
fruity,
something-
maybe?
there's something there.
I don't
I'm sorry.
know. Sour? Not sour in like a bad way, but sour in like there's a little kick there.
I don't think there's anything bad that's sour, to be honest.
You say that as if like... Have you not had that one sour Slurpee from Max? That one's
The
too
blue
sour.
one?
The blue one.
That one was crazy.
That one is too sour.
No, that one was crazy. I can't even
Oh,
mix
thank
it with
you.
anything.
That's coffee. I think that's the dark one.
Okay. So you want us to read your little.
Notes?
You locked in?
I guess so.
Okay.
Okay, take off your thing.
All wrong.
You got one, right?
Oh!
And then you thought this one was this one. And then you thought this one was that one.
No, she got
thought
two right.
this one.
So she just switched these two. Same thing as me.
Right. So you got that one
Grapefruit
right.
and the
Yeah.
other one?
We did
That's
the same thing.
wild.
Yeah.
Because this one does taste more grapefruit heavy
Is
than
this
this one, I
the-
feel. It's the
Yeah,
Northwest,
that's
right?
crazy. Because like this
I'm
one,
taking
there's
this.
an actual like,
Yeah.
I feel like a scent of
Yeah.
grapefruit.
That's what
Okay,
I'm
like
thinking.
to my taste.
Yeah,
at
we did
least.
the exact same thing.
Look at us. 3 for 3. 3 for 4.
2 for 4.
Are you
Yeah.
ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can start with this one.
Okay, this is the one that has all of them in it.
Okay.
I'm sticking with that's a light blue.
Okay.
I like
Here's
blue.
your second one.
The second one.
Thank you. This is hard.
Right?
I'm gonna switch that.
Okay.
Can I have that one more time?
Wait, which one? Oh, the one that we
first
just
one
gave you.
yeah.
Mhm.
I think this one's Dolly's.
This is
Okay.
Dolly's. Okay.
I'm gonna keep this with the blue one.
Okay.
I feel like I'm gonna get everything wrong. Sorry, the light blue one.
You're right. I'm wrong.
Okay.
And I'll take the next one. This is the hodgepodge. Do I have the hodgepodge yet?
Hodgepodge. No, you haven't guessed that
Okay.
one yet.
And the next one's gonna be the chocolate one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you locking that in?
Yeah.
Okay, you can take it out. So you got
How did
2
you-
out of 4. You just mixed these 2. Yeah.
Wow, that's actually crazy.
Right? And I was like,
yeah,
okay.
that
yeah.
was the one that was messing me up
Mhm.
because they're both so light.
Yeah. Yeah, these ones I just thought this one just tasted more sour. But I
That's
think
the
that's because
thing.
it's a mix of everything.
I guess. Yeah, so
I
maybe
agree.
some
It
things
does
are
taste
differently-
really grapefruit. Like if
Yeah.
you like
Yeah.
grapefruit, I would hit that
Okay,
one.
I will say also, I don't love
Yeah,
beer.
that's
That's not
crazy.
my choice of drink. I also don't like dark beers, but I did like this, which is shocking because I don't
Mhm.
like dark. She knows they don't.
Yeah.
I don't like dark beer.
Mhm.
So I was like shocked that I actually would like maybe tolerably
Tolerate it.
Yeah.
tolerate it. Yeah.
Go try a craft beer.
Go try
Yeah.
that beer. And go get a cool T-shirt too.
Mhm,
right?
get the
They're so
T-shirt,
fun.
the
Just the
T-shirt.
I love
artwork in
them.
general is just so cool.
It is really cool.
It is really cool.
And they're from like people. He was saying in the
Local
interview,
artists?
like
yeah,
just
that hang
people
in
bring
there.
in, yeah.
Yeah.
or like
Which is
plants.
really
Bring
People
a
bring
plant
plants.
in.
Yeah.
You just need to come and water it, but bring
Yeah.
a plant
Bring
in.
anything like within reason, you know? Don't
Yes.
bring anything too crazy,
No.
but like plants are allowed, art's allowed,
Dogs are allowed.
dogs are allowed.
They have really cool snacks too.
They do.
Koala cones, hot rods.
Oh,
if
I
you're into
love
them.
koala cones.
I know, I was like, this is so fun.
I
Like,
love it. Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
So send me koala cones. Check out Bent Stick
Oh.
Brewery. I'm just kidding.
sponsor.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Koala cones sponsor us.
If we're adding those in the cotton candy popsicles, do love those.
Oh my
send those
gosh,
to
yeah.
Sahar. If you
Yeah.
don't know exactly which ones I'm talking about, send me an email.
And we can follow up.
Don't worry, we'll figure it out for
We'll
you.
figure it out. Yeah. Okay. Thank you all so much. Go to Bent Stick Brewery. Bye.
Hey, it's the Birdabound Besties here.
Do you want to be a guest on our show?
If you have a story that's worth sharing with the community, feel free to scan the QR code at the end of this video to be a guest on our show or one of the other amazing On Location shows that are available within Alberta and BC. So if you want to be a guest, scan the QR code.